Hey everyone, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Dave from Aro Advisers, and today I'm very lucky to be joined by Max Whitehead from the Whitehead Group. Max, you are the man when it comes to employment law, and today we're going to be talking about something that actually isn't all that much fun, but is the reality for some businesses at the moment, and that's talking about restructuring, when to think about it and how it all works. Sorry?
I was just going to say, yeah, it's a critical thing. And right now there's a lot of it on, but when to do it. And it's great we've got Dave over there, who's the New Zealand's best accountant. Well, Dave told me that. And so I believe him totally. So he's got a feel for it, because when I give advice on employment law and redundancy, I tell the employer, go off and talk to your accountant, and you need those facts and figures in front of you. Okay, let's get into it. So in terms of when's a good time to do it?
When should businesses be going, geez, do I need to restructure? Because it is a process, and it is a process of figuring out what the right thing to do. When's a good time to kick that process off?
All right, and businesses, well, you should be, as a good business person, is always planning ahead. So you must mirror, and from my perspective, employment law, you're going to have to give your staff an opportunity to consult. So I would give them, wait for it, between a week to 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, just to give them a chance to talk about it. So before you even get into it, you've got to have 2 weeks ahead before you can actually say goodbye to any of those staff if you've got too many. So that's a part of the planning process. And what I would require of that is to draft up a document, which could take a day or two, because that document's got to have the facts why, the justification why you're doing it. That's where I'll be. You go to your accountant, tell them that, we're down on profits, we're down on turnover. If its sales are down, or perhaps we can't justify staff at the moment, we need an accountant to do that. Now, I don't understand when the time is right for an accountant. So it's Dave, we make a good team today. When do you think it's right?
I will jump in on this point. Businesses are they have obligations, to their staff, to creditors, to shareholders, to customers. So if a business, if you're sitting in the driver's seat of a business and you're losing confidence that you're going to have revenue coming in, you need to be taking action pretty quickly. And if that action isn't working, that is when, at least in my opinion, you should be going out and talking to accountants and people like yourself, Max.
Well, see, what I do in my little business, I measure it on how much is in the bank. My overheads are pretty menial, so there's not much I worry about. But that would be pretty poor judgment for some of them, so they have to think ahead about buying stock, all those things, and forecasting, I guess, is the key word, is it?
Yeah. Look, and again, I think at the moment it's really, really important that yes, you should be paying attention to how much money you got in your bank. You should be looking at your balance sheet, but I'd also be keeping an eye. How long is it taking for people to pay you? Do you have an aged receivables problem? Do you have, if you're doing the sort of work that you quote or write proposals on in advance, that's got a long lead time, how much work are you quoting at the moment? Because if that's down, that's a pretty good indicator that in a few weeks or a few months' time, the amount of work that comes in, the amount of money that finds its way into your bank account will also be down.
Well, what comes to mind also is your staff. So people are saying, how much money have I got left to keep my staff on? Well, don't rely on the subsidy, folks, because that's just a temporary Band-Aid. And as soon as that's ripped off, you're going to fall off a cliff. So what I would suggest you do is act beforehand, but knowing at the end of that's going to stop. So you're probably measuring up in terms of how many sales you've got. So come up with that pretty quickly, but go and get advice from your accountant. Once you've done that, formulate a document. I'll help you with that. Or anybody else could put that document to the staff member, give them a week to 10 days, and then at the end of that, you can make your decision whether you want to proceed with redundancies or not.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Well, one of the things that you and I have talked about in the past, let's just touch on this really, really quickly before we run out of time. What are the consequences of people getting this wrong?
Oh, yes. severe. So you could be 3 months lost earnings. I mean, if this is the remedies available to the authority if you got it wrong. So it could be 3 months lost earnings up to that. So if they can't get a job in the next 3 months, it could also be hurt feelings, humiliation that can range from say $3,000 to $21,000 if you've got a long-term employee and treated them badly, made some bad decisions. And that's the start. You've got legal costs for yourself, and if you lose the case, you're going to have to pay the legal costs for your employee. It's very expensive. Get it right, folks. Get some advice, I would suggest.
Cool. Get some advice. And look, on that note, if people do want some advice from you, Max, they just Google up the Whitehead Group and your smiley face will pop up on their computer.
Max Whitehead gets me straight there, so not a problem. And you, Dave, how do they find you?
Everyone knows how to find me who's watching this, hopefully. You can aroadvisers.com, or if you're coming to this through Panuku for Business, pretty sure Panuku for Business has got my details on there somewhere. But hey, look, everyone who's watching, I hope you don't have to go through this because it's not much fun. But if it is something that you think you're facing, the best thing to do, pull a plaster off and get on with it.
See you in a couple of days, folks. We'll come back with some more good advice for you.